Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Davenport Diaries, the Scarlett Tears entries. And this is episode 2, and the name of this episode is Rude Awakening. Yo, this episode was good, and man, there were certain things that were revealed this episode that I didn't see coming. So let me get started, y'all. But yeah, so we get the entry from Fallon, and she talks about, people, darkness coming to the light. But she says as far as her and her family, they do darkness in the middle of the light. And she was saying that she's been trying to break this cycle, but for some odd reason she can't escape it. It's like, they do darkness in the middle of light, meaning that, everything they do, there's always a spotlight on them. And it's like she just can't escape that process, that's been ingrained. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is Tessa and Winston, and shout out to Deborah Furman, love her and the role of Tessa, and it's great to see her back. But we see that Winston moseys his ass over there to talk to Tessa. And he's talking about, the business is successful, WinCorp, the company that he has with Fallon, that is doing great in Europe, but he's trying to expand it into the U.S. And then, he pretty much, says that him and Fallon's relationship right now is complicated. And he came there to discuss business, and, but the whole time he is throwing mad shade at Fallon, and even Tessa's like, this is kind of alarming, like you're literally just throwing Fallon under the bus. What's going on here? And he pretty much says that, look, Fallon made a lot of mistakes. She's ruined lives, and she never takes responsibility for anything she does. But he says, unlike you, Tessa, you're human. You may have made some bad choices, but you never intentionally went out to hurt someone. And he was like, I get you and everything. And he lets her know that, because she admits that, me and Fallon are having some issues in our relationship. At one point, things were starting to go good between us, but now things have went left. But we know why. But then, Winston lets her know that, look, there is no textbook to being a parent. And like, she's kind of alarmed because, he was saying that, look, just like there's no textbook for you being Fallon's parent, obviously there was no textbook when it came to Fallon with her being a mother to Raven and Julian. I mean, look at what mess she's made of their lives. So she's just like, immediately like, yo, why are you coming at Fallon like this? What's going on? I thought you guys were besties. What's going on with that? And he pretty much said that Fallon is a selfish, cold-hearted bitch, and he wants to buy her out of WinCorp. And he needs cash, and this is his chance to set his own path. And, in order to do this, he needs liquid equity. He needs, liquid equity. So that's the reason why he's coming to Tessa. Can she invest in him taking over WinCorp and, moving forward? And then all of a sudden, it starts going into this other direction when he's saying that, me and you share something special. I'm like, what? Come again? And then we come to find out that he lost his virginity to Tessa. So I was like, what? So I'm like, damn, Winston, who haven't you boned? You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, we saw him get down with pleasure and pain, and man, that was pleasurable to watch. I'm just saying. But yeah, it's just like we're seeing that damn Winston, dipping in all kind of waters. He messing around with Chadwick behind closed doors, and now we come to find out he, lost his virginity to Tessa. But he was supposedly in love with Fallon. This is interesting. So she's pretty much, so she's like, oh, you mean the time you, so, of course, Tessa's like, oh, you talking about the time we slept together? He's like, yeah, I lost my virginity. It was a good memory. So Tessa agrees to help him, and he's saying that, but I think I want you to tell me how much you've grown. It's been a long time. And he's like, lead the way, baby. So he literally tears Tessa up. You could tell Tessa is loving. She's like, oh, yes, Winston, you have grown. I was like, all right, Tessa, I ain't mad at you. You know Tessa's a cougar. Because Tessa literally makes 40 the new 20. She's like 40 plus, but looks gorgeous. Body is like on fleek, and she be slaying these young boys now. So yeah, so here it is. He done put in work and everything, and then later on, when he comes back, waiting for her to give him the liquid equity that he was asking for, she lets him know that, look, something really did happen between me and Fallon, and she found out some information that has completely, she found out some information that has completely turned her life upside down. So I'm really trying to make things right with her. So I really can't make this move with you. I can't give you the money. And then also, she's saying she's trying to work things out with Baron. She's trying to play it nice. But Tessa, this was after you gave him the cooch and you told him that you was going to help him. So Winston flies off the handles. He's like, really? I gave you my virginity. I've given a lot to you guys. Why would you do this to me? And she's saying that, look, I can't give you the money, but I got some loans and some, investors that I can hook you up with and everything. She's like, I don't want a loan. I want you to give it to me. And she's saying, sorry, I can't. So immediately, Winston turns to that evil shit. He's like, oh, you forget I know your secrets, Tessa, and you know what I'm capable of. You and Baron. So, it's on. So she tries to stop him, but he walks out, and I'm like, yo, Winston is hurt. Winston feels betrayed, and Winston feels used. So when you have those three qualities all combined into one, you will turn to the most evil motherfucker walking, and that's exactly what we see with Winston. Because we even saw a scene like, when after he had sex with Tessa, she was like, oh yes, you haven't lost your touch. She's like, we need to do this more often, and he's like, And then he kind of gives this sinister look right into the camera. I'm like, David K. Price, you better act your ass off, bruh. Because we just see that Winston has now tapped into that sinister side. And it's all because the love of his life was taken away from him. Because obviously the person that he loves is Ashton. And since he can't have Ashton, it's like to hell with everybody else. I mean, so that's what was going on between them. And I was like, whoa. So Winston is about to go all out against the Davenport family now. So we're going to see what's going to happen with that. Then we have the situation involving Christian and Fallon. Now we remember, the last time we saw him, we literally saw him pinning up Fallon against the wall and telling her to shut the fuck up and take this D. So we see that, yeah, she done spent the week with Christian. So Christian been tearing her up. And pretty much she's saying that, yeah, and then she immediately starts going into, that whole thing about, and then pretty much what ends up happening, she starts talking about, Winston being a fat. She starts talking about, not Winston, but Ashton, like she starts bringing up the word faggot again, and Christian again went off her like, look, you need to stop saying that word. It's actually very cruel, and it's mean spirited, and you need to stop saying it. And she was saying that, well, look, I don't mean it as a form of disrespect. I mean, my brother Jabril he's not a faggot, but the fact that my man, cheated on me with another man, and this man knew about me, and he still was sleeping with my husband, that's a faggot. And he pretty much let her know that, look, this is a word that is being used for hate and discrimination. I don't like it. This is a word I heard growing up. This was also a word I heard from female employees who didn't like the fact that I was gay. So this word has many different, this word has nothing but negative connotations, and you need to stop using it, regardless of how you define it, saying that, well, some men are just gay, but then some guys are faggots. Like, no, you need to stop saying the word completely, because it's disrespect to all gay men, which I agree with. So I actually applaud Christian for getting Fallon together on that. So next thing you know, here it is. Christian is loving the fact that he got the Platinum Plus sitting right next to him. He about to go down and actually go downtown and do some more munching. And then the next thing you know, we hear a knock on the door. It's Allura. So all of a sudden, Dallin starts getting like, what the hell's Allura doing here? Like, she can just show up at your apartment just unnoticed? Like, what the hell is that? She's like, look, she's my friend. You know what I'm saying? So he pretty much tells Fallon to hide and kind of keep quiet, and he's going to go deal with Allura. And Allura was not going to go away. Allura was like, breakfast, we got to go, open up the door. Allura had me rolling. She was banging on that door, and she was not going to stop until he opened the door. So he finally opens the door, and she's like, oh yeah, and I lied about breakfast. You're actually paying, just letting you know. But yeah, let's go. And he's like, you could definitely tell he got something going on. And she kind of like, oh, you got company? Oh, damn, I'm sorry. Why didn't you tell me? Okay, I'll come back. Okay, we'll catch up later. I'm gone. So therefore, so pretty much after that, Fallon comes out of the thing, and she's just going in like, oh, really? Like, so you mean to tell me you got a thing for Allura too? And he's like, no, it's not like that. She's my friend. And he was saying, and then like, but then like she starts kind of going in on like her, like, I can't believe you still want to hang around that half-breed bitch and all this shit, she ain't even Davenport blood. And then Christian, we had to remind her, like, well, according to what you said, neither are you. And she's like, oh, so that's what you do? I tell you shit and you want to throw it back up in my face? What the hell is up with that? And he's like, Fallon, you really need to understand, you and her got a lot in common, and they do. They're both very independent, very strong-minded women, and they're very successful. So they do have that in common, but she's like, no, it's not the same thing. So the thing is, she knew she was adopted coming in. Me, I was raised to believe that these people were my family, and then come to realize that what I believed wasn't true. So we're not in the same space. Well, according to that, you're not. But in all honesty, you two are. You guys got Allura and Fallon definitely got a lot in common. So we see that go on, but then he pretty much says that, look, let's just reconvene later on, and we'll go out to dinner and everything will be cool. So she says fine. So she pretty much ends up leaving. So therefore, what ends up happening is that, they get back together, later on, Fallon and Christian, they about to go to dinner, and, before they leave, she wants to kind of fix her lipstick. So all of a sudden she's in the bathroom, and all of a sudden he opens the door. He's like, you know what? I ain't waiting for you, Fallon. It's time to go. So he opens the door, and Allura is there. So now Allura sees Fallon is that secret person that he's been messing around with. And Allura goes in. She's like, oh my God. So, Fallon, what the hell are you doing here? So is this the person you've been having this secret relationship with? This who this is? Like, yo, I cannot believe you would do some shit like this. Are you out of your fucking mind? And he's like, well, you know, well, it just happened. And she was like, bullshit. Bullshit, Christian, because you went to Jabril and you got him working for you because you was trying to get back at him. So what, you couldn't get Jabril back, so you decided to fuck his sister? I was like, oh, you better go in, Allura. And then of course Fallon was like, look, Allura, you need to know your place, and you don't want to cross that line with me. And he was saying that, and she was saying that, look, I know you will fuck anything. I already know the kind of bitch you are, but why would you do that to Jabril? You know, this is like really fucked up. Oh. Yeah, so they kind of go back and forth and everything, and pretty much she was saying that, and she even had to let, she even let Fallon, and Fallon was like, look, I will ruin you if you run your mouth, so you better know your place. And then the Lord was like, look, I'm not a little girl anymore, I'm a grown-ass woman, and I'm not afraid of you. She's like, and Fallon's like, oh, you want a cookie? I'm like, Fallon, you wrong. That was cute. But then she told him that, look, either you guys tell Jabril or I will. And she said, and then Fallon was like, if you even run your mouth and say anything, you won't be able to book a porta potty when I get done with your ass. She's like, bitch, I'm not here for your threats. So you either tell Jabril the truth or I will. So it's like, man, because this is the one person that can really get Winston together, because Allura was not having it. She was like, yo, like literally you just went from you're like, and then she's saying, do you not even realize how messy this situation is? If this gets out. So it's just a big old mess that they're in, and pretty much Fallon and Christian go back and forth about it, and we see later on, Fallon is like, look, you need to get on top of this, because I have a lot to lose, not only my position, but and also my reputation. All of that's on the line. And then Christian's like, you think I don't have nothing to lose? And she's like, yeah, you put your all into your music company and you're trying to make it successful, which is why this shit can't get out, because it can have a negative reaction to my family as well as you. But then, of course, Christian's like, your family is always the center of everything. But Christian, you ain't getting it. You trying to get into this industry, and if you get caught up in the scandal, a lot of people ain't gonna want to fuck with you. So even your career's on the line if this were to get out in the public. So they go back and forth and everything, and Fallon pretty much says that, oh yes, and I know that Allura wants you. I can tell. And he's saying that, look, she's my best friend. What are you talking about? She's like, oh, I can tell she wants you. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to go and make it seem that you're into her, and maybe that'll shut her up, and she won't go to Jabril or tell anybody. So I'm just like, okay, this is interesting. And then we see where pretty much, Fallon in her mind says that sometimes charm can be more deadly than a gun. And then she kind of hugs him and she gives that look like, I'm like, yo, shout out to Christina Porter, man. She is a phenomenal actress. I love her. She literally was playing to that like, I'm about to run this shit. He like, yeah, I'm gonna stick you on Allura, make her think that you like her and that you were really into her, and that'll shut her up. And we see later on, he does meet with Allura. Allura is pissed off, and she's like, you know what? I can't believe you would do something like this. Like, this is not even you. Like, where's this coming from? Why would you put yourself in that? Why would you even put yourself in that position and shit? But then, he's saying that, look, it just happened, but but there's a reason to it. And she's like, and the thing about it, why wouldn't you tell me this? I'm your best friend. You tell me everything. I know what the food you like. I know how you sleep. I know a lot about you, but you ain't never mentioned to me that you were into women. I always thought that you were gay. You never brought this up that you were into females. Like, so what is it? Why haven't you never told me this? And then he drops it, because I was attracted, because at first I was, and he pretty much, makes the confession that because I'm into you. And he's saying that, look, I just kept it hidden for so long because I didn't think you were interested in me, so I didn't say anything. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all of this. And he's saying, and then he's like, so are you going to tell Jabril about this? And she says that, look, if it's truly over, officially over, then no, I won't say anything to him. But I am loyal to Jabril. And then we see that Christian hugs her, and Christian has that look in his eye, and I'm like, yo, shout out to Justin Wayne Bryan, too. Another phenomenal talent. Yo, I peeped that. I was like, See, Fallon did kind of peep that there was some kind of that there was some kind of connection between Christian and Allura, but she's thinking that Allura is into Christian. I don't think that's the case. I think Christian is really into Allura, and Allura is the one who's completely blind by that. So when she said that, when he said that and he hugged her, yeah, he did that to shut her up, but he also meant it. So I'm thinking, yeah, he is in love with Allura, and some of those same qualities he saw in Allura, he saw in Fallon. It's just that Allura wasn't available. Fallon was. So that's why he jumped at it. So I think, in all honesty, he's into Allura. And I'm like, yo, so really here it is, you thinking you setting someone up, Fallon, but really you setting your own damn self up. So this is going to be crazy. So I was just like, wow, this is crazy as hell. But yeah, shout out to everybody. Emil Khalil, who plays Allura, shout out to you as well. Definitely David K. Price, shout out to you. Deborah Furman, shout out to you. It was great seeing her back in the role of Tessa, and she did not disappoint, not one iota. She had me locked. I was like, oh, Tessa, really? Ooh, okay. and definitely Christina Porter, you are really holding this down, my love, and I'm so here for it. And, definitely shout out to the cast and crew. You guys are delivering, and I am so here for Davenport Diaries. Like, I am just literally like, oh my God, I can't wait to see what episode 3 is going to be about. So I'm there. So that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. But subscribe to brtbtv.com. I have that link in the description box. You can click on it and go right to brtbtv.com and subscribe today. We got The Uglies coming out next, and I can't wait to see what this show is about. But as far as the characters, I think this show is going to be a success, and I think it's going to give all of us life. So I can't wait to check that out. And then we also got Davenport Diaries, so yeah, you guys need to subscribe now so you can get some of the best work, that really represents the LGBTQ community. Also, check out the Triangle Fan Club, where you get everything BRTB TV. Shout out to Marquise Butler, Rick Hollowboy, Andrea Parker, Lindsay Wagner. They be holding it down over there on the Triangle Fan Club. But if you go there, be respectful and respect the cast and crew and respect, the fellow fans as well. Also you get, different, discussions about the shows, as well as comments from the cast and crew, and also updates from the creator, Caesar Williams. So you get everything on the Triangle Fan Club as well. So brtbtv.com and the Triangle Fan Club. Know this. All right, but also subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you get notifications every time I drop a video. Also follow me on all of my social platforms. I have them listed in the description box as well. Also like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I'll be back with the next episode of Davenport Diaries, the Scarlett Kids entries. Yo, this stuff is awesome. So yes, Carlos Harris, you know, all of you guys, man, you guys are doing phenomenal work, and I am on the edge to see what's going to happen next. Also, Lindsay Wagner as well. You guys are doing some great work, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. So, until next time, everybody, take care.